Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to an early start and welcome to another video on an EV. I'm only joking, today's video is not about the Polestar 2. However, we do have this and there will be a video coming on it very soon. Today is about petrol, it's about combustion. Today is a combustion engine video. We are off to Oakley Hall, which is it's a place where they're doing what they call a manufacturer's day. So I'm going to get a chance to drive some cars. There's a couple that I really want to drive. There'll be a couple of videos specifically on the cars we're going to drive. But this video, this is the petrol car that we are here to drive today. This is the Abarth F595. Now, in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the F595, what you get from it, what it is, what it's not, but also to answer the question that I've had a lot of questions about when I've seen some people is, will I buy another Abarth? So if you wanted to get into the Abarth F595, they start from around £22,000. The concept and the idea behind the car was it was kind of derived from the Formula 4 single-seater race car. Now, we all know that, well, unfortunately, it is a bit of a gimmick because it's effectively a 595 Turismo. However, it is still extremely fun. And actually, in the next video, so make sure you subscribe, I'm going to be comparing the 595 to something that I think is quite underrated, but also really shows the capability of the Abarth. And this obviously has the 1.4 litre T-Jet engine. It is running 165 brake horsepower and 0 to 62 is dispatched in 7.2 seconds. The F595 itself is still quite a good looking car. You do get these blue bits of sporty trim. You can see that, well, it's an F, so it's got some kind of track stuff. The bit that I'm still not sure about, guys, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's got a weird record Monza. Very weird, and I know that Abarth are really scraping the bottom of the barrel now with trying to bring new trims because the electric Abarth is on the horizon. However, they are unfortunately professionals at diluting, I guess, their cars because, well, you don't even know what you're looking at anymore nowadays. There are so many different trim levels on these cars, and one of the great things about Abarth was that they're so customizable, and actually owners who own these cars, they modify them so much. But Abarth themselves, with nothing new really coming on the horizon, have taken into trying to make their trims slightly different, and as a result you kind of get this Molotov cocktail of different cars. However, look, let's not smash them because this is a good car, and one of the main reasons it's such a good car is because of this. The 1.4 litre T-Jet engine, so tunable, so strong, and actually, because this is 165 brake horsepower, that engine is capable of easily being modded to, 250 horsepower without needing to forge any internals. Of course, this also being the F595, the sporty one, we do get the Koni suspension. However, what we don't get is, we don't get the Brembo brakes. If you do want the Brembo brakes, you probably need to opt for a 695, which is about another £2,000 more. When we get inside the Abarth, it's still very familiar. We do get these aren't the sabelt seats. They are comfortable though, but they're not like the sabelts. And actually there's a question, I guess, depending on how harsh you want the ride to be. The sabelts aren't always the most comfortable seats. And with the Koni FSDs, the ride does ride a lot harsher than, well, without them. The other thing as well to know is most of the other things remain the same. Oh, that familiar sound, that familiar startup. That familiar steering wheel position. You do feel like you're driving a bus in the Abarth, but it is cool. And also you sit so high, so you have good visibility, but it's quite unconventional. I think one of the biggest criticisms I've had, and most people have when they drive these cars, is the seating position. It is quite high, but this car is all about fun, and that's important. Abarth is all about fun. So let's take it for a drive, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about whether I will ever buy another Abarth again for myself. The first thing I can tell you getting back into Abarth is you immediately start to grin from ear to ear. Let me tilt you down a little bit. There we go. The Scorpion has something, it does something to me that just makes me happy. And I don't know whether it's because I started my channel with it and it brings back so much nostalgia and it reminds me of so many memories that I made with my own Abarth. I think it's more the fact that what Abarth created in the form of the 595 is just something super fun, super exciting, loud, noisy. I'll tell you what, the The F595 may not be as quick as the SASA or the 695 70th, but it's still got good punch. 165 brake horsepower for the public road is plenty. I mean, where's the TCC? Let's turn the TCC on. Let's drop her into first. Yeah, this is fun. This is very fun. There is something about the character of the Abarth 595 that needs to be talked about a little bit more, because not only does it unite people, it brings so much smiles to you when you drive it. And yes, they are ultimately the same car, and they have been for so many years, and it can be frustrating. When you see what I'm about to drive in the next video and I compare the two, actually, when Abarth created the 595, they pushed so far above their weight, which means even 10 years down the line, or maybe even more, is it more? About 10 years or so, when the 500 was first created with a very similar engine, or the same engine, it's still doing bits. So look, I think to answer the question, would I buy another Abarth? I think I need to answer it in two parts. The first one is, I think I would absolutely buy another Abarth, and it will be either a proper old high mileage 500, like 2010 shape, and use it as a bit of a project car, or wildcard is I wait until the electric Abarth comes out and I just go in and buy electric. And I know what you're thinking, oh no, don't do electric, there's no tuning. However, I drove the 500e electric and I loved it. It's a really, really good car. And I'm sure that what Abarth are gonna do with the electric one is going to be pretty cool. And yes, whilst it's probably not going to be as fun, it's definitely not going to have the noise. There's an argument to say it might not even have the right amount of character, which would be a really big problem and actually could be a nail in the coffin for Abarth, but they don't really have a choice. Me, however, I do have choice. So should I sell my Mini and buy another Abarth 500? Let me know. Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, because I love these cars. I always have. I always will. Now, if you did enjoy this quick video of this Abarth F595 and what it's all about, and also me telling you why I might buy another Abarth, or might not, who knows, please make sure to like, share and subscribe. And also make sure to wait for the next video, because I'm going to be comparing this car to a very underrated thing. But whilst it might be underrated, if you compare it like for the Abarth, they're similar priced. Actually, all those things that we say about the Abarth 595, we might have to reconsider, because I'm not so sure that the one I'm going to test in the next video is actually as good as this.